Who's that producer that you think is second to none? Washington. That's Washington for me. I mean, all producers, like I work with only the best. That's the truth. I never really work with somebody that, like Wese Sika, I won't work with you. But for me, the person that still sticks is Washington. And the special thing about Washington is looking at you and picking a sound for you according to how you look like, how your personality is. That's the gift that Washington has. It's not about just the beats and all that, because that is easy to create after you understand the artist. Because most artists that you touch, I mean most producers that you touch for, agamboze, bechikandari, na kolachi, na kusibula n'ogenda. So Washington actually looks at you, sees what is good about you, and then he creates a sound about that. And I feel like that's a special thing about him in Aledo. He makes a signature sound for you, and it's always very hard to wow. You know, when he creates a sound for you, it's really, really hard. People are asking a lot about the marketing of the show. Let me just let you know, rest assured, we're working on it. Okay? We're working on it. The press conference will be communicating that soon. At least you'll know by Tuesday when the press conference is going to be and where. Are we having a Serena show? You guys, I am very skeptical about Serena. You understand? It's very hard to do a venue of 1,500 people when you have had 20,000 people. Like, it's very hard to narrow my mind into performing for just 1,500, 1,600 people. And I think that's something you can understand. Like, if you have the potential of getting 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people, why would you limit yourself to 1,500? Like, why? Like, Sichi, I don't know. Maybe at a certain point, I will feel like, you know, just for the Serena Jaji Kora. But it is very hard for me after achieving that much success. I think come and limit myself to a smaller place, a smaller number of people. I don't get the logic. But, you know, I've seen people say that, but put yourself in my shoes. Would you do that? Like, if you could make 100 million, then why settle for a market to come up 25? Like, why would you do that? You know, I don't get it. I mean, make it make sense for me. I understand artists who do shows in Serena, and they're amazing, they're beautiful. It's smaller, it's cheaper, it's easier to do. So the production then needs so much. You don't need so much money to do it. You don't need so many dancers. It's not so much that you need to do a Serena show, and I understand the comfort that is in Serena. But the issue with me is that natandikira more numbers, and then natandikira for open spaces. And when I made it there, maybe a listeners party, maybe album launch, maybe like, you understand, like something just to introduce an album to you, something intimate, small, and then we do that. But otherwise, I don't know what you guys feel like, because, you know, if you sit in my shoes, like, what would you do? You know, what would you do about that? That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. And you guys know how to get my statements, then turn them into other things. But put yourself in my shoes. You know, like, why would you do that? So for me, it doesn't. You understand? It doesn't make business sense at all for me. But maybe I'll do that, like, for smaller things. Listeners party in here, or want to be able to, maybe I'll take that to Serena.
Should we expect another video?
Well, I have, before we released Nice and I, we actually wanted to release 2 songs. But after you guys loved Nice and I so much, I'm like, man, why don't we just wait until after the show to release another song? But I do have another song, because we shot 2 videos, you know, planned to release these songs before the show. You know, so me and my team are like having this argument of because we actually have the song. It's a beautiful, beautiful love song, and we wanted to release them together. Now we're trying releasing Nice and and the pace that is going at. Sagara kujijaka attention atentekechi oluyimbo lala. So I don't know. I'll leave that to you. But otherwise, at the moment, I feel like to recognize and I am kubanga ebigambo bananga. I want to release the lyrics video, because I've seen you guys on TikTok trying to sing the song and all, and it's beautiful to watch. Nekati njagala bawa time muluigi when tukira concert ngamwena mulinange zenono batusala ko tuleka abachachaise nabagawane kabakakana abachagamye njagala mwena mujenge ebigambo byonna mukola ki mubimanyi, you know, so that we can do the show. Kasala bakubako kayimba kalala moyo space. So ekyo ngenda kibalekera
Are you performing Nalu?
Nja kuteeka wakayimba. Am I performing Nalu? You people.
So cross.
Yes, I am. I mean, it's on my lineup. We've been beating ourselves up and saying, "But I together for Nalu because it's very different from the rest of the music." You understand? Because putting it together, the visual is not coming together. But yes, we're going to perform Nalu. Okay, so
I'm asking if you're going to do Niyetu with group.
Am I going to do Niyetu? People are giving me work. First of all, Locomotive, you want me to gather all those artists. Now you want me to gather the children of the Year 2 project. You people. You guys be reasonable. Okay? It's night time. These children need to sleep. I do not want to bring them kids to the show. But it's a beautiful song, that is true. But I think it's not appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate. So recently there's been so many things talking about, like, you see how I delay to release music? People have been trying to pin that to sources that are not really connected to why I did the music that I did, why I released the song that I released. You guys know that I don't simaragata music. You know I'm never in a hurry. I don't work under pressure. You know, after writing so many hits, so took up point in that you're not worried about releasing a hit. You're not worried about no, I'm not worried about that anymore, because I actually know how to write a hit. Like, I can sit down there with my own brain in my heart and I can write a hit. So I'm not in a hurry, seeing pressure until releasing a music. So don't pin that on anything, on any new person who has come into the industry. So what has happened, then Cindy released the song. No, look at my track record. Just look at my journey and you realize this is just how I release music. I am not inspired by any artist. No, I am not. With the success that I have achieved, I'm not inspired. That time I was having an interview and I said, I am my own competition. And that is just the truth. I know for some people it sounds like, oh, she's being pompous, or she's being, or Rachi Yeraga and all that. No, sometimes, it's true. It is actually true. So I don't release my music because something new has come in the market. No, I have no competition. My last competition is I beat that hands down a few years ago. So I have no competition at all. There's no one there that went to I have no reason for that to happen. The only time that will happen is if I see that there's somebody competing with my numbers, and then I'll be like, okay, fine. But still, since we don't yet have that competition for numbers, then I have no reason to be because Gundi has it. My Gundi no. I release music when I am ready to release it. And if you listen to the song, you can tell it's not a song that was written yesterday. It's not a song that was took a very short time to do. Not do some studio. No, listen to the song. You feel the depth of the song, like all the work. You can hear it. You can hear the producer took time to do the song. So it's not something that happened now. We produced that song about 4 months ago. Yeah. The song was produced about 4 months ago. In a 2-hour done magazine. It took about 2 months to mix and master and just add everything. Because they kept bringing it to like, it took about 2 months. Then after that, of course, you sit down and say, when are we releasing the song? Then of course, there's time to sit down and discussing a concept here video. Sasha, you understand? There's all that. Sasha, is a busy guy, so I'm that so it's not something that you can just do. But pressure gundi zero some studio nice and no, you're not listening. Listen again. What any bazoburiza no zirabanga ngolimba lulamba lulume bigambo nga mukaga. Oshitegeera nga you can tell it's a freestyle. Bamuntu yatuddawo na mu dakiika nga 2 nayiya akayimba 10 nayiya akayimba osobola okulaba nti obugambo buli mu luyimba butono ate bwonna tebulina depth. Oshitegeera tebulina, there's no really anything special about the song. You can tell nti writer abali talina budde. Kati atuddawo nafuna akagambo kamu nake toloza nakadamu because there was no what? There were no lyrics, there was no feeling behind it. That you can tell. But that you cannot put that on Nice and Live. You can't do that. When you just listen to the song, you can just tell. Kanakaimba to take some time to do it, some effort, some talent, some all that was put together for that song to happen. It was not pressure, no. So njagala ekyo just kikole kiveewo ku show zonna ezirigenda mu maaso guno omwezi nje kyembagamba kiri kimu sirina buzibu na artist yenna bw'oba ogenda kuwagira buli artist fina tukola ki tuwagire sente zidda Uganda okitegeera so obuzibu bwenja okuba nabo nti wemuvaana mugenda nemuwagira omuzungu ngaomunayuganda munno ategese ki ategese show oba nemuwagira eforeign oba bw'obuzibu bwengenda okubeera nabo you understand if there's a chance for you to bless a fellow Ugandan I feel like you should do that, or a fellow black person, whatever it is, I feel like you should do that. Charity begins where? At home. So I'd say to get wagira abafe. Then they said to get to Zwagalala. You know, I feel like that's the only issue I have. But otherwise, if there's me and Dax and there's so many other artists who know mwezi what you are free go what you take your chosen blood the other day or July. Bobo sobora kuwagira bulyomu kolecho. So I don't have any issue with anyone. You understand? If you can give a chance to everybody, just do that. You know, but don't make it a situation to what no, nobody's fighting anyone at this point. We're just everybody's trying to make some money. So without having to fight about it or argue about it, we don't go for a cheap way. I don't know. I sent you over as never will at the end of the day, sentence Zikoma Uganda, Zikoma, and we're going to invest into our own country at the end of the day. Is there any way we can buy tickets online? Yes. You can buy tickets with Airtel Money, and you also have tag ticketing as well.
This week we shall have the codes.
So this week we're going tomorrow on Monday you have the codes to buy these tickets. I think that's it about the show, right? We had our auditions with the dancers last week. It went really well. We're having some auditions with singers this week to make sure until show to Jiga Sebulungi. My band is steady and ready to perform. Of course, we're adding other people to have a bigger sound. Wali abangambye nti moment gye balina ku battle eya brass band yali ntono. So they want to hear more of the brass band, and we are contacting them about that. We want to have that feel again. Abantu badde much feeling ebulungi at my concert. What else would you want? We are making sure that our VIPs are extra comfortable than the last time. We learned from our mistakes zitwakola last time. Katugenda chifixing kyonna to make sure that there are no issues at all. You know, trying obuzibu nti ku boom party twalina abantu abajja last minute nga akutte sente ze ali ku mulayini kitegeera. Kati imagine omuyaye n'akulaba ne million shillings ng'oli mulayini. You know what can happen. Kigali chikuyitamu awo nga totegedde, you know. So we had our VIPs who were late with their tickets. Ngabambi ali mulayini na million shillings. So makati somehow some of them got some issues because abantu ba realizing that mwana ayimiridde ina million, you know. So right now I'm suggesting nadala abantu ba table, I'm suggesting please get your tickets before the show, so that we don't have that incidence. Njoze kushow abantu bangi nawe oyimiridde mu line ne million zosatu. Okitegeera, it's a risky place to be. Most of you have expensive phones, you know, you're dressed in a different way, so omuyaya akutunulira n'akubaza, you know, from outside where we don't really have a lot of control. So mbadde nsaba naddala abantu ba table, VIP most especially, get your tickets before, so that when you come it's a smooth right through. You know, to wait at because all that is going to be set up, and it will benefit omuntu alina ticket already. It will be easier for you. You have your codes, just scan the code, no ingira no korachi, no nyumbi show. So before, as we're getting ready for the concert, I need you guys to do more challenges for Nice and I. Sometimes I look and I get ideas from you people. Okay, so be as creative as you want to be as wild as you want to be, and then you can win yourself some tickets. Okay, we're putting tickets aside for people who will do the best challenges of Nice and I, especially on TikTok, on Facebook. Just make sure that you send me an inbox, or just call one of the numbers and send the video and be like, how you do? And make sure you've posted it. Not to wait postings, and the best ones to Jabawachi will get you tickets to make sure that you show up. You'll be there at the event. I'm looking for some surprise acts. I want the show to be Ugandan, so I'm getting artists from all over the place. Artists from northern Uganda, eastern, from western, from everywhere. And then I'm looking for artists from Sudan. I actually got some from Sudan, and then some from Kenya. I want the show to have, you know, like everybody gets a piece of of the royal experience. So if you have any ideas, send them to me and let me know. Oh, artist, we twagala nyo Sudan, we twagala nyo Mbwati, twagala abere ku show. Send me these ideas. Let's see how we can patch this up together and make it happen. So I don't know when I'm doing my next concert. You guys know I don't perform every year. I don't do as a concert in no. I do shows when I'm ready, you know, and now I feel like I'm ready, and this is 5 years later, you know. So come through. Blue 3 is going to represent. Our lineup of artists will be coming, out very soon. But I rest assured, seeing in the Chikuba, you know, that is going to be there for sure. And then everyone else will be introducing Ponampola. But then Saba, during this time, our Bafani Bafe, let's not listen to the noise outside of what we're doing. You know, ignore the noise. You know, people are trying to get people's body to a diversion into small issues, into things of last year. Smile yali alwana ne gundi. Smile yakola ati ebintu ebyedde abaligeza kokola ki okubikomyawo. Please ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. You're not going to get to where you're going if you're going to stop and stone every barking dog. You understand? You're never going to get there. You need to just focus on your journey. So let's focus on the show. The show on Mulamwa Guli 29th of August. Everything else to ballet house, Simaya Cindy Mukumobi, Simaya Cindy Yakulabati, Ayugira Bobi. There's all the things that they start saying. Simaya Wamutima Mubi. Like all of a sudden I'm like, what's happening? But I get it. When an artist is doing something, there's always these forces that come in. They are usually suspects, sometimes also who come in to try and change the narrative of Uzabazaba and to trying to take people away from the main point. Trying to deny my legacy, trying to act as if I'm not a triple threat, trying to act as if I am not the main ingredient, trying to act as if, you understand, as if I did not defeat all my adversaries years ago. You understand? Like it's like all that did not happen, but they know all that happened, you know. So do not let these people, all that noise, divert you from the truth. Charlie live on TV. The revolution was televised. It was, and the proof is there all over the internet. This is why I never bother to answer. You understand? Like, if no one to nasa sura about to never kuvuma, like sending a China child, get a much to fuchidia, chikugoling. You understand? There's something that you don't understand about Cindy, my status, my career. Google me, baby. Like I know my credentials are right. So Sina would the good doubt and cook wakana no mutumba tesili wakabin. The money in the wakabi to wait. You understand? I've been approved for the last 23 years of my career, 25 years of my career. I've been approved and tested over and over and over again. That is why we're getting to the point of the king herself, to the royal experience. So I think that is why people say there's no reason, you know, there's no nothing to fight about, because they see your name and age too. You understand? Diverting people's minds, which it's all over the internet. So on my next live, when I come on here, I'm going to be giving away the tickets. Okay, I'm going to have some tickets to give away, some complimentary Zengendo or Gaba for the people who have done the challenges, and of course some #1 fans here and there, to make sure that at least you know, to make sure to show. So we sponsor but we right now, if we have anybody, any company, any idol to join in this car time, it's still open. You know, it's still open. For vendors as well, there is it's still, yeah, it's still there's still time to be part of the events. Would like companies to buy tables, you know, and all that. I'd really appreciate it so much. At this show, we're going to need a lot of your support to get a better go boom party. So nsaba mubafani banga banjagala ne mumba 10 oba 2 okitegeera, because ku bomb party twalinga abantu, let me say, abantu 3 who pulled off that show. But the main team was about 8 people. So I believe that with heart, with okwagaliza, so much can be done. So mwe abatwagaliza abagala Cindy abategeera Jani yange, help me spread this thing. You're the biggest promoter I've got. You are the support that I can actually rely on more than the TVs and the radios and the bloggers, and especially these people who are paid for an opinion. Those are not people you can rely on because somebody's paid for an opinion. They are going to kujawane Cindy. 2 days later, so we can't really rely on such people. But what I can rely on is your love, because it has been there for 25 years. Cindy, we are in a hit in what in a Cindy waliwo. I mean, what in a hit waliwo. So you're the people I can actually rely on. So help me spread this show. If there are places that you feel like I've not been, instead of complaining, you go there and tell them about the show. Tell them Cindy is going to be here. Like help me spread it to 3 other people, and I will absolutely appreciate it. Njagala mmanye nti I appreciate you so much bafani bange mwana. I take nothing for granted. Tula and twogeze swagala inji namasape, but the truth is inside of my heart I'm humbled by your support. I am amazed sometimes. Kati nze ndi muntu nti sisasulira opinions z'abantu, sigenda kusasula okumpaana, because toli kumpaana just tuli kwogera kituufu. Okitegeera omuntu bw'ajja n'agamba Cindy akola bumpate mwana najjuza abantu nangamba te musasule kituufu kye wayogedde, lwaki nkusasula okwogera ekituufu? You understand? I will only pay you if I want you to lie about me. I will pay you if I want you to exaggerate my success. But if you're just talking about the truth, because it's enough, you understand what the success I've been able to maintain my legacy, to market me, say that's why I do not answer bloggers and all that stuff. No, I don't. Sometimes you see moment, you get the chat, hello, thank you for for what you told the people. Thank you for that awareness that you created of the truth. And about Cindy, that which kola naye atokugamba mbu kati nkusasudde vumono simanyi gendo mpane kola wota. That's something that I'm not going to that I'm not going to do. I appreciate the things that God has done for me, and I know I stand by them, and I know that they're strong enough to keep me going in this industry. But before I leave this life, I don't want to live without saying this. There's power in innocence. Innocence in Uganda. Omuntu ali innocent, omuntu ataina musango. Let me first say it in English. There's power in innocence. That when you're innocent, it doesn't matter what people say about you. It doesn't matter how much negativity is sent to you. The curses, the witchcraft, the the slander that is sent to you. If you are innocent, you understand, God hears you. If you are innocent, God fights for you. He gathers armies for you. You understand? Gets strangers to fight for you because you are innocent. You understand? But if you're not innocent, that's different. But if you are, there's power in that. So keep yourself innocent. I try to keep myself that way. I try to keep myself that the truth is I'm not. Because there's power in innocence. Mu Luganda omuntu abanga talina musango ne bw'omuloga ne bw'ovuma otya asimanyi tambula kaloko nabananga muntu mubi bananga awunya asimanyi si mulungi yalemererwa okunyirira asimanyi byonna ojja byogera, but it will not affect them because alina kiri nti talina musango talina kyakoze. Okitegeera kati byonna ebifumo bikoma ki mu bbanga alinga ayombera mu nzikiza. Naye omuntu yali akunyigiddeko naye ng'ali mu nzikiza. You understand? It does not affect in any way, but the power is in your innocence. So that is why I feel safe in the environment. Last time I was having a conversation with one of my drama. She called Brie. She was saying, I cannot wish for 30 minutes. I don't know how you sleep at night. You know, she's like, because of all that is, because she just joined my team and she just realized so much negativity that comes to me on a daily. There's so much shit that is thrown on my name on a daily, you know, and she knows my innocence. She knows I have no part in it. So she's like, if that was me, I would be crying every night. If that was me, I would, you understand, like I would hate people. I would not want to go out to the stage, you know. So she's like, I cannot wear your shoes for 30 minutes. And I was like, wow, there are things that I take for granted. But that's what made me think about the power of innocence. There's no reason for me to speak, tell you, because the time will approve you wrong. Time will heal me. Time will, you know, every stone will be turned. You know, everything. God will fight for me because there's innocence that is in that situation. So that was my message for the night. Thank you so much for being with me, enduring with me this live, just listening to my nonsense, to my content, to my content this whole night. I'd like to again appreciate my sponsors who are coming through for the show. Oh, they've asked me for an acapella. Now, which part of Nice and I?